5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're listening to the New World podcast, Loreseekers to Aeternum, a show dedicated to Amazon Game Studios' MMO, bringing you both an original story of a traveler and his creation of a company in Aeternum. Join us on this journey of suspense, intrigue, and mystery, seeking lore, life, and the pursuit of all who threaten it. Welcome to Aeternum. Ulfmare releases his grip on the Warhammer, letting it rest in his lap for what he thinks is his final moments. His hands searching for the closest tool in a last effort to defend himself, his right hand finding his off weapon, a musket of the truest aim. Ulfmare was as deadly at range with his rifle as he was in close range with the Warhammer. Raising the musket's crosshairs, Sulyce's head in the background, Ulfmare finds purchase of the trigger with one final breath, his eyes contracting, Sulyce's eyes dilating. As Ulfmare closes his eyes, he catches a brief glimpse of a figure behind Sulyce, and in all of his life of being one's protector, Ulfmare chooses to veer off target, pulling the trigger, and collapsing in his final state. The bullet dislodges from the barrel and begins its final descent into the aether, fate carrying it on its journey. Sulyce's world slows down, and in an instant he is able to watch the bullet graze his left cheekbone, transverse past any vitals, and find the bullet's final resting place in the skull of one of the damned who was gaining ground on Sulyce's flank. In this moment, Sulyce recognizes Ulfmare's final decision is one of grace and mercy, saving his life in order to take one of the corrupteds. Instantly, Sulyce knew this was one of his brothers. The T-rune tattoo upon Ulfmare's arm signifying a long standing with Sulyce's people. With all the strength Sulyce has remaining, he reaches down for the Warhammer with one arm, and throws Ulfmare upon his shoulder with the other arm, and begins to make haste back to the beach. Upon entering the forest 3 days prior, Sulyce had charged the ranks to return to camp on the beach in the same number of moons to regroup, refit, and share whatever findings that were discovered among the ranks. To no surprise, Sulyce returned to a different state of camp. But what was a surprise was the numbers had grown. What was once 40 brothers, keepers, and shield maidens, won over by the actions of this man upon washing up on the shore, was now close to the hundreds, his testimony having become the testimony of each rank and file. Sulyce had become more than his own name, and a battle cry among the people. Carrying the body of Ulfmare, Sulyce enters the security perimeter of his camp and lays the lifeless body on the ground, and places the Warhammer upon his chest. He takes a knee next to the man's unbeating heart and begins a prayer known to his people. Lo there, do I see my father? Lo there, do I see my mother? Lo there, do I see my brothers and my sisters? Lo there, do I see the line of my people back to the beginning? Though they do call to me, they bid me take my place among them in the halls of Valhalla, where the brave may live forever. Suddenly, a weight on Sulyce's neck begins pulling his head down as he notices a necklace had manifested and was suspended. This was the same necklace he had seen on his wife at his own passing. In disbelief, Sulyce touches the face of the necklace, dispensing the blue mist from its container as it pours into the lifeless body of Ulfmare. A cough, a sudden tensing of every muscle in his body. Ulfmare finally made it back to a camp, though not his own. His final words coming to fruition in the arms of his new brother in Sulyce. And Sulyce smiles down at his family. Welcome home. Days turn into weeks, and the two begin discussing what could and should be done with 100 loyal soldiers. Regardless of the mission, the people must always come first. The leaders would be seen as well as heard. Those of the highest held positions would serve in the lowest, most humble manner. This would be a family. They would marry and bury each other for the months and the years to come, and a family they would be. They would prioritize seeking the history of this cursed place and assert themselves as assets to the surviving cause. Whatever this corruption was, whoever these ancients were, why all of this was happening on this island needed to be understood before command decisions could be made, and Sulyce and Ulfmare began forming the Consul of their company. Sulyce gives a charge to his highest renowned officers and sends them on expeditions in seeking of the truth. However, only one message returns, covered in blood, the courier having been replaced 3 times over through death. As Sulyce reads of their findings, he finishes by rubbing away dirt that had covered the name of the signatory, a name that had echoed throughout the ranks and had made its way to Sulyce and Ulfmare's awareness, a name that would change the trajectory of this company forever. The name, Cash Kilborn.